Hello, my Aquarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your healing twin flame read for mid-September, mid-October 2020. I am your reader, Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions, the Archangel of Lyons, Angelo Lyons. But you can call me Mal. Hi. First reading of the day. Although I've had my yoga, my prayer, my meditation, my coffee, my Wim Hof. Yeah, it's been a busy morning. Just afternoon now, maybe a little bit after. So very much looking forward to getting these last two readings of the series done, which is really 4 readings because we're doing an extended over on VIMEO.com. The link is in the description box below. So if you would like to check that out, you have the opportunity to do so. That said, my subscribers, thank you so much. My Aquarian friends, I have so many close Aquarian friends. Like, as I really take inventory of just sun signs, I'm like, yeah, some of my longest, dearest friends have been Aquarians. So I'm loving you all so very, very much for your subscriptions, your likes, your supports, in any way, shape, or form, your comments, all that helping the channel grow slow and steady, winning the race. If you are new to my channel, please consider doing the same. Like the video at the end if you like it, right? I never ask people to do anything that goes against their truth or anything like that, but do consider subscribing as well. I'm not quite at 2,000 subscribers yet, but I would like to, believe it or not. My next goal is really 30,000, which is a bit of a jump, but so that I can do the membership thing, so my extendeds can all be in one place on YouTube instead of here and on Vimeo. I've been getting emails from other people here, try this platform, try that platform. It's like, I just got monetized in February, people. Let me take this as it comes, right? Evolution is best done slowly in my experience. Quantum leaping is nice, but not all the time. Yeah, it's a little Scott-pacula for me. Let's get down to business. This is a general reading. Please take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Check your other signs because we're looking at twin flame contracts. In this case, this reading, my guides, my Pantheon said, no, these are going to be about what you can do to heal yourself in your twin flame contracts, because the foundation of a twin flame contract, unlike a soulmate contract, twin flames, you teach each other how to heal yourselves, how to love yourselves, how to respect yourselves, how to set boundaries, all that inner kind of stuff, because they cannot give you the love that you want. It doesn't mean they can't give you the love that you need, but sometimes the contract is, I'm going to withhold my approval of you so you learn how to approve of yourself. You sort of get the idea, and that's in all sorts of different ways. They're not just romantic, sexual. My father and I were twin flame contracts. He died when I was 18 years old. We've been chatting ever since, right? Our relationship has continued beyond the veil, so to speak. And we're still helping, now we're helping each other heal, right? That's the soulmate contract. So this may be sexual, romantic. You're only getting 13 cards, right? That's what extended means. You get half of it here, half of it somewhere else. But I will say what has started off as a non-romantic seeming reading in the YouTube, in Vimeo, it's like, oh, they're totally into each other, right? So by the end of this, you should know whether this is your reading or not. Again, stay in the present moment, focus on your breath, see what your body does. You'll know if you're supposed to jump over, or even if this read is for you, right? So 13 cards, let's get down to it. All the decks that I read are in the description box below. Take a deep breath, and let's do this. Good morning, afternoon, it's morning somewhere, my collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, the higher souls of all involved, and the ascended masters of soulmate contracts, twin flame department, agency, bureau, that sounds better. The Twin Flame Bureau, it sounds so Umbrella Academy. Please, I need 2 cards, one for the Divine Feminine, one for the Divine Masculine. Right, we're doing a contract, Divine Feminine on this side, Divine Masculine on this side. It has nothing to do with bodily gender, just party number 1, party number 2. We look at the energetic dynamics of that as well. So please, what is the dominant archetype being alchemized for the Divine Feminine in this Aquarian Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame contract, mid-September, mid-October 2020, or timeless? And there's the Divine Masculine. Thank you. What I say while I'm shuffling is just the prayer to them, and they're like, keep going, keep going, keep going. That one. So it is a prayer, but it is very interactive. Okay, keep in mind these aren't horrible. Well, there are some archetypes that sound horrible and are brilliant in their light, and some that sound wonderful in their light and are totally toxic in their dark. We've got the Storyteller and the Trickster, the Divine Feminine Storyteller, party number 1, and the Divine Masculine Trickster. Now, I will say the Trickster has shown up in the Taurus read and the Leo read, so this will be his 3rd time showing up, and interestingly enough, both times is the Divine Masculine. Aren't you glad I'm a Virgo? Aren't you glad I write shit down? Okay, so let's start with the Divine Feminine. Ladies first, even though this is not about biological gender, you will hear me say she and he so that my brain doesn't implode in all of this unity consciousness imploding dualities, right? It's hard to talk. you have to find your way through it somehow, right? So the shadow attribute of the Storyteller, making up tales that harm others. It's essentially being a liar. Can even be a compulsive liar in its shadow. That's like its deepest, darkest depth there. But it's also the stories that we tell that harm ourselves, right? The illusions that we plug into, the things that we pick up from others in terms of false beliefs. Like, oh, I have to keep my vibration high, otherwise I won't get everything that I want. That's not true. It's not true. That might have been true, but we're in a different energy patterning now. Law of attraction still exists, but the way we're experiencing it and interacting with it is way different, right? So that's just an example of the stories we can tell ourselves. Oh no, I won't get what's on my vision board if I have a bad day. No. Not even Abraham Hicks says that. And Abraham Hicks, by the way, I'll say, followed their work for a very, very long time. I support the work of Esther and Abraham and all of that, but really hear what they're really saying, because then I think the ego grabs it and runs with it, and you start telling yourself these crazy stories, which is part of the process too, right? The light attribute, ability to experience and express life through stories and symbols. Now look, I'm a tarot reader. I'm a diviner, or whatever that means, right? Someone who works with divination. So expressing life through stories and symbols is exactly the work that I'm doing here. So of course I have the Storyteller archetype. It's just not lifelong, what's called a Chronos archetype. It's a Kairos. It comes and goes. I use it as a teaching modality and a modality for service and divination. But I always have learned, well, little by little, I've learned to keep an eye on the stories that are going on in my head. Read Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle. You can find it on audiobook probably for free on YouTube at this point. Let's look at the Divine Masculine, all right? The twin here to the Storyteller is the shadow attribute of the Trickster, manipulating others through duplicity. It's not hard to see. Turn on the TV, right? Like, you can see that Trickster archetype alive and well, and the Trickster archetype is ancient. Look at your ancient pantheons. There's always a trickster, right? Set in the Egyptian, Hermes in the Greek, Mercury in Rome, Loki in Asgard, right? And the northern mysteries and all that stuff. So, you know, this is an ancient archetype. It ain't going anywhere, apparently. So the light attribute, transcending convention, stuffiness, and predictable behavior, which actually sounds very much like an Aquarian to me. That rebel, right? Definitely the Uranus rules them. Isn't that nice to know ahead of time? Anyway, sorry. So the idea is this twin flame contract is helping you heal these individually. Now, you may not know which one you are here just yet. Even if your intuition is going like really disgusted, it might be yours. That's the way archetypes work. That shadow, if it triggers you, maybe you've had interactions with it, right? With the Trickster archetype. And who hasn't been lied to? And who hasn't lied to themselves, right? That we believe we're separate, essentially, is a lie that we are unaware of, that we tell a story. Yeah, of course, in Miracles. So we're going to get 5 cards, Daughters of the Moon Tarot, for this Storyteller to help clarify. We're going to do Fire, Earth, Air, Water, Spirit. Look at the element spread. We're going to do the same for the Divine Masculine Trickster with the Mythic Tarot. I'm getting all 10 cards on the table, 5 and 5, face down first, and then we'll flip them over element by element, because that's just easier and I think more dynamic. Breathe. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. My goddesses of Aquarius, please, Athena in particular, oh great gray-eyed one, goddess of wisdom and strategy, oh great liberator of the mind, please, Athena, I need 5 cards in clarity, element spread for this Divine Feminine Storyteller in this Aquarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, twin flame contract, mid-September to mid-October 2020 or timeless, please. What's her element? Fire. What is her element of earth? What is her element of air? You want that one? You got that one. What is her element of water? What is her element of water? Is she not sure how she feels? What is her element of water? We'll see. What is her element of spirit? The point of view of the soul, or the voice of the soul, that agreed to this contract on some level, right? We're chosen to play these roles by a higher power. Contracts are already written into the lives, just like plot lines in like a soap opera, really, or player abilities in like a video game, right? Like, well, I mean, virtual reality is such an interesting concept when you take it from that point of view. So what we're going to do now is we are going to turn to the Divine Masculine Trickster archetype. Same patterning we're going to do. We're going to do fire, earth, air, water, spirit. For this Trickster, this Divine Masculine, please take a nice deep breath. Okay, my gods, please, my gods, my gods, my gods. I'm feeling this Trickster. I'm feeling there has been some deception going on here with this Trickster. Almost like the word, prestidigitation. If you look, I don't know if you can see the card, but the Trickster here literally has a top hat and a wand. So that idea of prestidigitation, sleight of hand, right? That duplicity, it's a good way to think of that, like a magic trick. I've had these cards forever. I can't believe I just saw that now. Choices. So looking here, my gods, let's do this. Here we go. My gods, please. I need 5 cards. I need 5 cards in an element spread for this. Hold on 1 second. Sorry about that. Someone was coming to the door. I had to see if they were going to knock on it, just dropping something off. It's all good. Packages, breathe. There we go. Oh my gods, please, I need 5 cards in clarity, the element spread for this Divine Masculine Trickster in this Aquarius collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Yeah, there's something going on with this Divine Masculine Trickster. The energy keeps shifting and moving, hard to pin down. I would say this is almost a Gemini energy, but let's see. Please, my gods, Heracles in particular, 1 card in clarity. What is his element of fire? See? What is his element of fire? It's jittery. That's the name of the energy here. Jittery. What is his element of earth to help him get his fire? What is his element of air? Nervous. Nervous. Jittery, jittery. What is his element of water? We'll take that one. Very unsure, very shaky, shaky, shaky. What is his element of spirit, the point of view or voice of the soul that agreed to the contract? All right, let's go. Like I said, she came out relatively easy, although I think that emotional one was a little tricky. Let's see what's going on here. What do they want? Their element of fire. Well, the Divine Feminine, good for you, Divine Feminine Storyteller. You want to do the 8 of Pentacles here. You want to be the learner, right? That thing of learning through experience directly. Not just putting your hands in the clay, but learning line by line how to weave this thing together. Now, I will say, storytellers and weaving, not that this is only a card of weaving, obviously, but we do have the learner here, a crone, teaching a maiden how to weave a blanket, which there's one in the background there, so you see, yes, this is something she has done before and can pass it on because of experience, not just through thought, right? Through manifestation, the wisdom that comes through experience, earth. So with that storyteller, there is that thing of weaving a story. So be careful of that, my Divine Feminine here. Again, keep an eye on what you're thinking and saying and telling yourself in this, but also know that this is a journey. You're at an 8. You're not quite at completion, although the Divine Masculine wants a completion here and wants, oh, I get this. Oh, this is what the jittery was about. Okay, the 10 of Blades, although we see it as such a horrible card, it really is about resolution. It's like it's done. Right, and yes, the sun is, again, as we always see in the 10 of Cups, depending on the 10 of Cups, the 10 of Blades, the 10 of Swords, depending on the author, depending on who drew it, the sun rising in the distance. So, honestly, to tune to this, that jittery that was going on, I mean, literally, like someone came to the door and I was like, whoa, what's going on? That feels like that's been prolonged for this Divine Masculine Trickster. Is it about the divine feminine storyteller? Well, maybe if the divine feminine storyteller has been telling stories, contradictory, saying one thing, doing another, and just wants at least mental resolution, not just understanding, but to resolve something here mentally. Now, that might also be going on in their own life. If they're in a time of chaos, and really, who isn't right now? It's 2020, right? It's a lot of change going on for people, but this feels like a mental issue here. So really, either one of these with the element of air could be the Aquarian Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Hopefully by the end of this you will know for sure. What's the element of earth that helps them get the what they want, their element of fire? Like the candle is the earth, the flame is the fire. Well, divine feminine has justice, ma'at, weighing of the heart against the ostrich feather, right? Peacock feather, ostrich feather. I think it's ostrich in this deck. Ma'at, so that thing of justice, of balance, now has that element of earth. So I'm going to say that not that karma's on her side. I don't do karma as a punishment reward system. That's very Western. Karma means action, but when you get that even your thoughts are actions in the choosing of them, right? Takes it to a whole other level. It's a learning system, karma, that balance, but also that thing of justice. Maybe she has what it takes to get justice in this twin flame contract, or because he wants this resolution, maybe something that has been wildly unfair and out of balance, she has the power to balance it. And he's got the Six of Cups. Now this says to me these two know each other, but that what he has is a wistful, nostalgic memory of this one, right? A loved one, a balance of love has come to a place, has gone through emotional conflict of the 5 and is now at the 6, maybe looking back and saying, oh my, what have I done? Right? Oh, this has been so confusing. This has been so chaotic. This has been so conflicting on the level of the mind. Like, I feel that jitteriness for the divine masculine trickster here is mostly trying to figure it out as divine masculine's will, right? Oh, let's not check the heart. Let's just go into the head and think about it. Well, if I do this, that's the anticipation of the ego. I learned this from Matt Kahn. I forget which book. Is it the first one? Whatever Arises, love that the ego is always at war. It worries, anticipates, and regrets. It looks like there has been a lot of anticipation, worry, and regret going on here, particularly with that Six of Cups in place. Sort of like, not just what have I done in terms of regret, but now I'm in some emotional balance here. I'm seeing things differently. Five of Cups ain't no joke. It's not necessarily a nervous breakdown, but it's definitely an emotional upset. That can make us do crazy things, or at least things from our pain. When we're not dealing with our pain directly, it possesses us. And I feel like that can absolutely... Oh, right, Matt Kahn, everything is here to help you. What, do I have a Matt Kahn guide? I know he's still alive, unless he's astral projecting, which I wouldn't put it past him. All that kale and, all that healthy living might do that. Kind of saying that when the mind is in overthinking, it's like an alarm telling you your heart's not open. So breathe into your heart if you're the divine masculine trickster. Trick yourself, so to speak. But she's got this. This is our first major arcana card down. And I'm not getting that this is a light thing. Like, if there really is a legal issue between this two, I'm going to say the law is on her side, but that she has the ability to create balance here. Maybe not all the way home, not maybe all the way through to the completion of this, but we are looking at a contract, right? We are looking now, maybe there's a literal contract here, but the twin flame contract is certainly in play. So in the elements of air, she is thinking about what it's going to take. Temperance, what is it going to take? How much time? How much energy? How much discipline is it going to take in order for me to bring this situation into a healthy balance? So maybe there is, physically, she could do something with the law here in some way, shape, or form. I'm not necessarily talking orders of protection, although maybe. But she wants to do it. She's thinking about it doing in a healthy way. Temperance is such a fascinating card. It's very alchemical, but more in terms of the alchemical process, not so much just turning lead into gold, but that thing of alchemy takes 3 principles in place: time, heat, and pressure. Just like trying to pour fire and earth together to make them balance and blend, right? Again, tempering eggs, they always give me that. If you don't want scrambled eggs in your sauce, you have to add the warmer liquid slowly. It's tempering chocolate, right? It's really a cooking thing. I used to use steelworking blacksmithing metaphors, which is great if you watch any of those like old weapon renovations on YouTube. I love those. You can actually watch the process of tempering, right? They put the rusted sword in acid, right? So then they scrub it in the acid, and then sometimes they'll like put it in a solution with salt and then attract electrodes to it, and like electrolysis, which is like removing your hair except rust if you're a piece of metal, right? And they buff it and they polish it and they grind it, right? And it comes out gorgeous, right? So whatever the world had done to the instrument, the process of tempering balances it, brings it back into healing. So it's like healing the metal. Well, and he's thinking about communication too. So while we have this very, I mean, I hate to say that I've seen a predominant, pretty predominant in these spreads, the twin flames, a really more evolved, ahead of the game divine feminine than the divine masculine, but that might very well be where we are with the rise of the divine feminine tide, which everyone is experiencing within themselves, but certainly even balancing the scales of justice. So there might be a part of that here too. There might be a real masculine, feminine imbalance in this relationship. And remember, this is not about biological gender. But it feels like she has the power to balance this in a healthy way, because he's got the Eight of Wands. He's thinking about taking quick action. He's thinking about reaching out, about moving this forward. And why wouldn't he? He might want to make things right. Hence, justice, balance is on her side, like on her side of the table, so to speak. Like I don't, you know what I mean? I want to be careful with that in a general read. She's got 3 major arcana cards. In the water, she's got the Hermit. So she is going within. Yes, there may be some lonely going on here. There may be some feeling of being alone. But if you're feeling solitude, if you're really going within and doing the alchemy within yourself emotionally, then this is really about, like an Aquarian, going up into the sky and looking down at your emotional field mentally, right? Oh, well, it is a major arcana card. It can be a period of your life. Major arcana cards usually are a period of your life, a chapter, a stage of your life. But this is internal emotional light, right? Going within, bringing the light into the darkness, or better yet, bringing the darkness out into the light. The Hermit is almost always seen up high. Here she is riding on a gray horse over a stone circle. We'll call it Stonehenge or not. I don't know. It's a drawing. I can't tell. I'm not an archaeologist. I'm a card reader and a witch. So this thing of seeing it from a higher height, very Aquarian. Aquarian is fixed air. Think stratosphere. They just don't pull back. They pull up. Like, let me see this from perhaps a more rebellious place, perhaps a clearer place, because the divine masculine here is feeling the Ace of Wands. He wants a new start. He's got it in his heart. I'm not going to keep going with that because the word fart just came into my head. Let's keep going. Talk about fixed air. The Ace of Wands there definitely is feeling passion for her. This is what's leading me to think this is a romantic thing. Nothing screaming it. There are other cards that could come up, certainly. I mean, the Six of Cups kind of sort of does. But it feels like the divine feminine storyteller here is going through such a spiritual transformation and process, or at least is gearing up to bring herself into some kind of physical, spiritual balance through the mental and the emotional, right? Where the divine masculine here, I think he knows that there's been a lot of confusion going on here, really wants this resolution of clarity. We're going to pop it all up in a picture at the end. You'll see the whole spread, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But let's get the Spirit card here. Oh, he's got the Temperance card too. But he's got the Temperance card in the Spirit position, which is the voice of the soul, or the point of view of the soul, saying, hey, you need to bring yourself into balance, and it's going to take time. Look at the time we are in right now. So much introspection being offered. And guess what? She's got the card of analysis in the card of, in the position of the soul, right? The Spirit card, the Two of Blades, which can absolutely mean right now, while things are being analyzed, it's a stalemate, right? You're both sorting this out. You're both gathering information. Analysis can be so microscopic that it does take time, particularly for the divine feminine if she is analyzing her own emotions. Now, analyzing your emotions aren't enough to heal them. If the mind could heal itself, we would be in a much better place. Yes, you can get help with the mental healing and all of that stuff, psychology and therapy, and I highly recommend it, but it is ultimately the soul that heals the mind, right? A wounded mind can't really heal itself. And with a wounded heart, it does take the ability to feel love again. That heals that heart little by little, hence the self-love. Remember, this is a twin flame contract. So with both of them, with the Temperance card here, I'm going to say the dominant energy here, though one has it in the soul, the divine masculine, the other in the element of mind, she's probably more incarnating this right now, bringing it into form where he's sort of being guided there. On a soul level, will he be receptive, respectful of the process? Because it is going to take time. I don't know. Is this romantic, sexual? Let's see. Let's put down the last card, and we'll see. And of course, you're going to get just about as many cards in the extended reading on Vimeo. I have 9 divination systems on my deck. Well, technically, I guess. 7 divination systems and 2 healing systems. So let's see what one of those healing systems have to say. Well, the other is the Carolyn Mace archetype cards. From the Ascended Masters of Soulmate Contracts, the Twin Flame Bureau. What is the healing mantra card you need from the Healing Mantra deck by Matt Kahn? Breathe. And by the way, there are some cool links in the description box below explaining twin flames and soulmates, the differences. A bunch of them are mine, but the one that kind of turned the page for me is the one by Matt Kahn, Soul Contracts, Twin Flames, and Soulmates Redefined. And it's the redefinition that just set me free and is really the foundation. His definition, which I have adopted, I guess, my definition now. So let's see what your healing mantra is, because as you work this mantra, whoever you are, the Divine Masculine Trickster or the Divine Feminine Storyteller, you will heal. Maybe not all at once. Mantras do take time. One interpretation of the word mantra is mind tool, so sometimes it takes, like a tool, it takes a while. Breathe. My Ascended Masters of Twin Flame Contracts, please, one card in clarity. Yeah, I'm feeling ya. I'm hearing ya, and I'm feeling ya. For this, please, this Aquarian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, Twin Flame Contract, mid-September, mid-October 2020, or timeless. What is the perfect healing mantra for them? Now, I have to say, there's still so much uncertain in the air on this, and it's mostly mental. It's like looking through clouds, and the jitteriness is there. And it might be both sides I'm feeling here, hence the Divine Feminine kind of going inward, but the Divine Masculine sort of looking at the past to try and figure this out and get resolution. So please, what is their perfect healing mantra, my Ascended Masters? Welcoming surrender. There is no problem, only destiny being fulfilled. One of my favorite. There are a lot of these that I use regularly, but welcoming surrender. I mean, surrender is not exactly something we're encouraged to do the majority of our life in the external world, but in the spiritual internal world, sometimes that's all it is, right? Surrender. Sometimes I'm going to feel what I got to feel. I'm going to let it come through me. Instead of resist, I will surrender. Welcoming surrender. There is no problem, only destiny being revealed, and I believe it's the last card in the deck. It certainly is. There is no problem, only destiny being revealed. I wish I could explain to you in a short amount of time how much relief this mantra has given me, and then things start explaining themselves, right? When surrender is welcome, you are open to viewing life as the playground of the soul's evolution. So right there, that's a right up to that stratosphere. You see the world, right? You're open to viewing life as the playground of the soul's evolution, not the ego's gratification, but the soul's evolution. And remember that personality is in between those two, right? You are no longer worrying about what to do or where to go, which would calm this reading down a bit. Instead, you are following the gentle, peaceful flow of inner guidance in surrender. In surrender, every personal conflict is handed over to Source so as not to distract from the prime objective of evolving your consciousness with the utmost sincerity, love, and compassion for all. I kind of feel like the Divine Feminine's headed in that area because of the card of Temperance in her mind and the Hermit in her heart, so to speak. right? And the balance in the earth. It's like she's really wanting to do the right thing here, but also wants to take the journey, wants to learn, wants to heal, wants to have this experience under her belt so that it can bring her more fulfillment in her life on a soul level. The mantra is ideal for eliminating resistance, dealing with anger, and easing an overthinking mind. Look, this is going to work for both of them, and that's the way these spreads are designed, apparently, by my pantheons. Let me pop up the picture, and we shall see what else we see. Magic clap. We've got the trickster archetype for the divine feminine in the shadow, making up tales that harm others. The light attribute, ability to experience and express life through stories and symbols. So that certainly lends itself to a more artistic verbal type, right? But to be able to see what story is today about. Is it Little Red Riding Hood? Is it, Arthur and Camelot? What's today's story? What's this life's story? What's the mythology that I'm in could be very, very helpful. And with that Eight of Pentacles there, if the storyteller can see herself as a soul in process of learning, right? Learning, healing, growing, but by experience, not just book knowledge. Knowledge plus experience equals wisdom. So there's a gaining of wisdom here that she wants. And it does make sense then that if that's really her intention, you could say the element of fire is your intention, then her element of earth here is Ma'at. It's like she has the balance. That's like the wood of the torch that can hold the flame of the fire of the intention. So there is something balanced. There is something just that this might be her own honor code, as a matter of fact, saying that, this is how I roll. This is, I am fair. I am balanced. I am willing to see this story in a way that where everything works out for everybody, right? For the well-being of all. That this work out for the well-being of all. Thank you, my guides. What she's thinking, though, is the card of temperance, right? So how do I balance this? It's going to take time. I have to do my inner work. I have to heal me. I have to be disciplined about this. And I have to find a way of balancing what I really want with what I really feel. And with the Hermit card and what she really feels, she's probably feeling abandoned, alone, or solitary, right? There's a difference. Lonely is the word of the child archetype. Alone is the word of the victim archetype. Now, both of those archetypes can be alchemized from lead to gold, as all archetypes can, from toxic to light, toxic to healthy, shadow to light. But the other word that I associate with the hermit is solitary, right? That where you go to the top of the mountain voluntarily. The hermit is not someone in exile. They're not being shut out there. And it's not even so much about walking away from something as it is walking into the self, right? Up to the mountain to see deeper into the self, and maybe to get that larger destiny being revealed here, seeing beyond the illusion of a problem and really seeing that there is a process going on here that just at this stage appears like a problem. And of course, the point of view of the soul saying, analysis. Take your time. Take your time. Look at the different pieces of the puzzle here. Think about this. Go back and forth. But otherwise, I think between these two, there is a stalemate. Now, in the extended read, we'll be doing a past, present, future timeline, simple timeline, 3 Daughters of the Moon, 3 Mythic Tarot for both the inner and the outer aspects of past, present, future. But I think for the divine feminine here, really working that mantra, right? There is no problem, only destiny being revealed. It's like she's almost actively trying to balance this to get to the destiny that is being revealed, or at least see it. Where the divine masculine here, the trickster, in the shadow, manipulating others through duplicity. And that would explain that jitteriness. If there has been a trickster and a storyteller, it could be a liar and a liar, right? I hate to say that, but in the shadow, that's sort of the most toxic version of this. But that would explain that jitteriness that I felt where the cards were like shaking in my hands. It was such a nervous energy, perhaps, of being discovered, right? Perhaps of being found out. And that would make sense with the Ten of Swords. Like, oh, sorry, I didn't get to the light attribute. Transcending convention, stuffiness, and predictable behavior, which I have to say might make this a very, very fun divine masculine to be around, right? And possibly a rebel in that sense. But most rebels have to be tricky. It's not like they're getting what they want from society usually, right? So they have to be duplicitous sometimes to get what they need, let alone what they want. But with that Ten of Swords, he's really wanting a resolution. Maybe this is laying all the illusions to rest, all the lies, all the manipulation, all the deception, just bring it all out in the open and just be done with it, right? Maybe that comes through a grandiose telling of the truth here. And what he's got is the Six of Cups, is he does have sort of the regret and the nostalgia and the missing this person fueling this. You know, now that I look at this again, this could be child parent, the divine feminine, the parent, the divine masculine, the trickster. This definitely could be a generational relationship as well in some kind. Obviously, it really feels like the trickster screwed up here. Feels like the storyteller's doing the best that she can to move this in a healthier direction. And what's on his mind is the Eight of Wands. It's like he wants to reach out. He's thinking about really putting this back into action, moving forward, saying something, rapid communication or action. And what he's feeling is the Ace of Wands. I would call that inspiration. Like he's really feeling the inspiration to bring new light to this, to at least communicate what's going on in his heart. Now again, that could be, Mom, I'm so sorry. Dad, I'm so sorry, right? That totally could be that. But I guess we're going to see in the extended how romantic, if at all, this is. Because with the card of the Temperance, the Temperance card in the soul position there, his soul is saying, heal, balance, right? It's going to take time. It's going to take discipline. That you just kind of run in there all at once and try and set shit on fire. Even telling the truth is not going to get you there. It's not going to balance this out the way that you would like it to be, though it might bring an end to the situation. It's certainly not going to bring an end to the trauma. That's why this is a longer term process. I almost want to call Temperance the alchemy card here, in that sense that both of them have it, and they are doing their own internal alchemy, from shadow to light, fear to love, pain to peace, etc., lead to gold, however you want to see that. But so if they can really work this mantra, welcoming surrender, not necessarily surrendering each other, never speaking to you again, but surrendering to whatever is going on, because it's a part of a journey, because there is no problem, only destiny being revealed. Another way to say that is, there is no problem, there is just a process unfolding. And there you go. You're healing a twin flame contract read for mid-September, mid-October 2020. May the Aquarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed with all that they need in this twin flame contract, mid-September, mid-October 2020, or timeless, that they may heal, that they may grow, that they may temper their energies, that they may evolve, that they may welcome surrender. Getting that there is no problem, only destiny being revealed for each of them individually and maybe together for the well-being of all. So I'm going to be. And so it is. I am going to be putting up, as I said, a simple timeline. There's a preview. You get the first card down, which is what is the healing angel assigned to this contract, kind of, sort of. So I hope you make the jump over there. Otherwise, if this is where we part ways for today, thank you so much for watching my Aquarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Greatly appreciate your likes, your subscribes, your notification bell hitting, in your comments. So if you're new and feeling like doing it, please do. Otherwise, previews coming up next. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be. Hello there, my Aquarian Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Welcome. Welcome back. Welcome to Vimeo, right? Thank you for jumping over and checking out the extended read. Let's get down to business here. We've got this divine feminine storyteller with the Two of Blades of message from the soul saying, hey, take your time, think about this. You're in a stalemate, but it's a creative stalemate. Sort of like the crucible in the process of alchemy, right? For the divine masculine trickster here, we've got the card of Temperance. They both have that Temperance card, so I would call this a tempered contract for right now. So what we're going to do to take this further, understanding that there is no problem, only destiny being revealed, what is the angel from the Healing Angel Oracle, Doreen Virtue, that is assigned to this contract? Let's ask them. Hello, Raphaelites. Please, can I have one card in clarity, my beloveds, for this Aquarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame contract, mid-September, mid-October 2020, or timeless whenever they watch this, please. This is for both of them. Every card that hits the table in this reading will be about the contract itself, or the soul contract between the two of them, both of them. So what is the healing energy that either one of them can call upon to help heal themselves in this twin flame contract? Surrender and release. Welcoming surrender. Surrender and release. Welcoming surrender. What would the angel of surrender do, right? Snatch shit out your hands? No, that's not surrender, that's theft. Right? Help you let go, right? Help you, give you the strength and the support, sometimes the piece of information that you need. Oh my God, I was in love with this guy, which big shock. But this is like back in the early 2000s, late 1990s to early 2000s. Cute guy, long hair. Can I tell you? You have a type, you have a type. And I just thought he was the cutest thing on earth until I saw one thing that he did, and it was like, done. Like, it wasn't even heartbreak. I was like, bye, Felicia. And it was so energetically fast. And it wasn't necessarily something honor code driven. It was just something that turned me off. And it hit me such in the second chakra that I was like, bleh, contract complete. Never really spoke to him again. And there was no tears. It was just like, done. Right? So sometimes the angel of surrender and release can give you the pieces that you need, both inner and outer, to just go, oh, let's just let this go for right now. Sometimes by bringing in something different. Maybe outside the contract, you just, oh, I'll let that go for right now. There's something unfolding here. Twin flame contracts, there's always something unfolding. But call upon that angel of surrender and release, because that should be interesting. The next deck we're going to do is actually divided into two. We've got the Chuck Spezzano Love Pack in the suit of the problems, which is half the deck. The other suit, you guess you could call the solution, although there is no problem. Right? There is no problem, only destiny being revealed. So what is the piece of luck, the piece of healing, or the piece of grace? The other three suits that will help balance this out. Since there's two temperance cards and the card of justice here, we're going to go with there's a balance issue here. Take a nice deep breath. Let's ask the Ascended Masters of Soul Contracts, the Twin Flame Bureau. Nice deep breath.